guys, it's Kevin again, and in this video I'm going to be reviewing to Arrow Season 2, Episode 4, Crucible. This was definitely a very interesting episode. We had two major things in this episode. One, we finally found out the identity of the Black Canary, which is a little too early, considering we just met her in the in Episode 3. And two, we got our first, huge villain of the season that's going to be a recurring villain. So, let's just get to this episode. It starts off with Oliver finds himself late to a party at his own mansion, busying himself taking out a number of armed thugs in the glades. Once he arrives to the festivity, Isabel Rocha reminds him he needs to raise investor funds before Laurel and Sebastin, Blood, interject to explain the ongoing glade gun violence of the mayor, who's basically the big villain of this episode. Meanwhile, the man in question demonstrates his latest military-grade weaponry, shooting one of his own subordinates for losing a shipment to the Arrow. Back at the party, Oliver notices that Laurel seems to be drinking more than usual. I'll get to that in a second, but, basically, as this is going on, we see that, Oliver springs a trap for the canary outside of Laurel's apartment, unmasking her as none other than her sister, Sarah Lance, whom Oliver had thought to be dead. So, Sarah Lance is a Black Canary, and I think it's a little too early for them to reveal that she was a Black Canary, but, I do think it was good that we figured out who it was. So, following Sarah's escape, Oliver admits to Diggle and Felicity that he had actually seen Sarah a year after the singing of the Queen's Gambit, though he had been certain of her death otherwise, and thought of it no use to explain the true circumstance of her death to the Lances. So basically, we see that in the past, Oliver finds his freighter cell visited by a mysterious captain demanding information about the island and the mysterious graves. Oliver brushes off his threats of torture and refuses to talk, for which the captain, non-fatally, shoots Oliver in the stomach. So then we go to the present, where Sarah admits to Sin that her family wouldn't recognize her even if they knew her to be alive, because everyone basically thought she was dead. But she wasn't dead. She was just faked her death and pretended to be the Black Canary. While Diggle meets with his old Argus contact for intel on the mayor's stolen shipment of military arms. Elsewhere, Oliver meets with Sebastin Blood to plan a cash for guns event to benefit the Glades. Though Isabel Rochef reminds Oliver he needs to shift his focus to restoring the company rather than pay out of the pocket for the event. And across town, Laurel agrees to... Oh, more Laurel gets that in a second. But, Felicity manages to activate a homing beacon within the mayor's shipment of guns, allowing Oliver to infiltrate the man's lair and at least seize the weapons. Honestly, the mayor was not even that interesting. I thought the stuff with Sarah was the most interesting. So then Sarah visits Oliver at his club, though either refuses to share exact details of their last encounter, including the fate of Slade Wilson. Sarah admits she came back to Starling City after the earthquake to watch over her family. When the pair are interrupted by Quinn's arrival, Sarah keeps half sight as Quinn asks Oliver to talk to Laurel about her drinking problem, and Oliver nearly confesses the truth about Sarah before agreeing to help Laurel. Then we see that, so then after this we see the, what's after this? Let's see. Oh, here we go. Okay. So Sin regains consciousness and reluctantly admits to Roy that she proves with Thea, while outside in the corridor, Oliver confronts an inconspicuous Sarah. Oliver presses Sarah to show her family that she survived, while elsewhere Quinn attends an AA meeting, worried about Laurel, who continually downs pills and wine. And back in the past, Oliver is dragged from his cell into the Friar's medical bay, where out steps a figure prepared to torch him, none other than the surviving Sarah Lance, which was a very big scene. I liked that we got to see how they met, basically, and what happened there. I thought that was definitely very interesting, and I really loved that part. I thought that was probably most interesting. And the other thing we have to talk about, of course, is Laurel. Now, Laurel, and by the way, that plot was definitely very interesting. I think it was cool that they revealed who the Black Canary was, but now let's get into Laurel. Laurel is not really in good shape because of, ever since Tommy says she's had very bad drinking problems. She's drinking more than usual, and before Felicity interrupts with a revelation of his own in their effects to track down the canary, they've wrongfully assumed her to be following Oliver, when in fact Laurel was also present at every appearance. So there's a lot going on with her. She is taking pills, and they're very, very concerned about her, and Quinn asks Oliver to talk to Laurel about her drinking problem, and, Laurel brushes off Oliver's attempts to show concern for her behavior just before the Cash for Guns event begins in the glade. She's basically refusing to talk to anyone because she just is so down that she doesn't want to talk to anybody. And, she can't talk to anyone. And, they're very worried about her, and it's just really sad what's going on with her, because, she thinks that, Tommy's death is her fault, and it's really not her fault. It's not anybody's fault. He just died, and she feels really bad about this, and I feel bad for Laurel in this episode, because, she's having these drinking problems, and it's not really anything that she can fix, but she feels, she's really upset about this, so, yeah. So the only other thing we have to talk about is that, basically we see that the mayor plot, of course, the mayor greets his foster brother in a military convoy delivering the shipment, though the deal is swiftly broken up by a too-prolonged attack from Oliver and Sarah, the latter of whom manages to get a drop to the villain, though Oliver convinced her to spare his life. The next day, amid news of another Star Labs, Blood pays a visit to Oliver to thank him for his efforts with the gun drive and in saving his life. Now, here's the biggest scene, though. In the present, the mayor awakens tied to a chair by a police officer and a menacing masked figure who injects him with a miracle drug designed to make him stronger. The drug unfortunately kills the mayor, for which Brother Blood unmasks himself as Sebastin and demands the Commonwealth police fetch him another subject. So Sebastin is our big villain of the season. Sebastin is Brother Blood, and this was a huge reveal. I can't wait to see what happens next, especially after this. I definitely thought this was a great episode, especially the scenes where we found out more about Sarah and how she was. The scene that I thought was most intense was definitely the scene where basically, Oliver and her were it was like in the past when they were being attacked. He basically told her to just spare her life. I thought that was a very intense scene. Also, I feel really bad for Laurel. I hope Laurel's going to be okay. I'm sure she will be, but we do have to be concerned about her. And it's good to see her not hunting down the Arrow for once. It's good that she's actually upset at herself, because, she is annoying, and she did have a right to be upset at herself, so I'm glad about that. Let me know what you guys saw this episode. Do you think it was too early for them to reveal who the Black Canary was? I thought it was a little too early, but I still thought they did a really great job. What do you think of Sebastin being the big bad of the season? What do you guys think of that? And also, what do you think is going to happen with Laurel? I hope Laurel's going to be okay. I think they're probably going to get her into, drugs and things like that. We'll definitely see what happens. Also, guys, I just want to say one thing. With the reveal of all these superheroes and things, like last week with the Batman villain, I really think they're setting things up for Justice League. I really do. I think we're definitely going to get the Justice League together, and that's what I think is going to happen, because we know Flash is coming on the show, so I think they are setting things up for Justice League. But let me know what you guys think about that. That's it for my review. I hope you enjoy it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.